Fitness Pro Mentors, welcome to another episode of the Fitness Pro Mentors podcast. I'm excited because if you've been hanging around here for a little while, you know we have this business mentorship where we get to help amazing professionals just like you have the career of their dreams. I really do believe one-on-one personal training is a career that you can do some amazing stuff, make an incredible income, and frankly, scale as far as you want. Exercise titans are a big part of this podcast, but today I'm interviewing someone that I know really well, has been a part of our program for several months, Mr. Ahmed. Ahmed, champion, Mr. Rainmaker. Ahmed, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here. Obviously, I've been working with you guys for a while now, and I want to frame this conversation sort of like you've taught us, Brandon, to frame some conversations sometimes. I've been with you guys for a few months now. I can't even remember how much, but I'm so excited to tell people about my experience. I mean, even just doing this, the reason why I feel so comfortable doing this right now is because some of the stuff that you guys have taught us, and so, let's do this.
Amazing, Ahmed. Well, what I'm really excited to do today is, like you were just saying, tell a little bit of your story. Because one of the reasons why I love doing these podcasts, I believe no matter someone's level and experience, everyone has a story that someone else could really benefit from. And you have got such a great story, in my opinion. If you don't mind me asking, I mean, when you first started off with this mentorship program, I mean, what were some of the biggest frustrations and hurdles that you were experiencing that led us to start working together?
This one was just a lack of clients. I mean, not being able to make any money from my business. I was in a pretty bad situation with, rent and everything going on post-COVID. I owned a gym at the time, Lotus Fitness. And so it was really frustrating because I was, putting in the work, putting in the time and not seeing the results that I wanted to see, which was, having a fulfilling career, helping as many people as possible, but at the same time being able to eat from my work. And so, I was frustrated because I didn't get a chance really to do that. I was looking for ways to get people into my world and really struggled to do that in a systematic way. And that's really the biggest thing that was hurting me at the time.
Yeah, and so I think that you've got a really interesting thing to talk about because you're relatively a new trainer, but at the same time, you had a great sales process. You had a bunch of great knowledge on muscles and physics and all this stuff, and I know you're still exploring that with us, which is super cool. But you had all the background, but it still seemed like that there was kind of like a challenge of, well, how do I get humans in front of me? And it's interesting. So, I mean, would you be open to speaking to that? I mean,
Sure.
what would you, if you don't mind.
Sure. Yeah, of course. I mean, so I started working with people and exercise in 2016 as a CrossFit coach. So I got into group X, right? And it wasn't until the end of 2019 when I started to do one-to-one training. At the time, openly, I didn't even have my personal training certificate or anything. I did personal training based on the knowledge that I accumulated through being a CrossFit coach, which, knowing what I know now and growing into the role of being the best personal trainer I could be, I realized how little I really knew and the tools that I had at my disposal then versus where they are now. I mean, it's great. The exercise study groups that we do together, the one where we speak with Taylor as well. I'm looking forward to that later today as well. I mean, it's such a help, and you guys are so open to helping too, and that's really one of the biggest things that's amazing about this. I took the MSS course and learned the sales process. Shout out to Greg Mack, another great mentor, and it was very helpful going through that and going through the whole MSS course in terms of understanding so much more about exercise and the exercise process and how it can really help people feel better and live better. But with you guys, I mean, it's really taking it to another level. And the reason I say that is because of the personal approach that you guys really take. I mean, whether it's you, whether it's Taylor, whether it's Glenn, and you guys just, trying to get a feel for understanding where I'm at and where I want to be. And at the same time, taking all that into account, taking who I am into account. I mean, it's huge, it's humongous, and I want to keep working with you guys.
Well, man, don't worry. We got something special for you that I'm excited about. But yeah, I mean, we try to make it as personal. I mean, in my opinion, there's a lot of education programs that are just big open forum seminars, and I'm excited because you and many others. I mean, we have, I think it's including the mentorship calls, 18 hours of group call access on top of the one-on-one stuff that you get with your individual mentor, on top of the course pack and all that stuff. So I love it, man. I'm glad to hear that. Before we kind of get into like the heroic rise of all the things that have changed for you, I mean, if you don't mind me asking, and I've talked to you about this before, but if you were to have continued down the same path that you were before and nothing changed, where do you think you would have ended up?
Frustrated. I mean, I'm the type of guy who continues to work and continues to find the avenues that I need to succeed. I'm so lucky that I found you guys because that's I can feel you guys taking me there. But I would have been frustrated. I mean, feeling like I'm turning my wheels constantly over and over again, and that's where I would have been.
So Ahmed, with all of this, I mean, what was kind of like the moment of change? Like, what kind of things did you learn from us without too much candy that really helped you kind of overcome these hurdles of not having clients and not knowing where to get them from?
Sure. So really, it's a mix of things. I think. Okay, so we talk a lot about know, like, and trust, right? And for people that want to do business with us, they need to know, like, and trust us. Building that and putting it out into the world has been one of the biggest things. I think. So, for example, one of the reasons why I decided to work with you guys is because I knew, liked, and trusted you guys, right? I remember, learning some of the stuff that you taught me, and then looking back and seeing how you were communicating with me and how you were trying to help me back then, and seeing how now I have the tools to do that to the same people and create that know, like, and trust. I mean, it's really amazing. And for you guys, part of it was, I know you did a lot of the RTS, MSF style stuff, and that was sort of my line of thinking and moving forward, the way that I wanted to take my business and how I could help people. And really, one of the biggest things was your ability to communicate. And I know that's one of your strengths. Really, your whole team has that strength, and it really helps me feel heard and understood, and that makes me guys like you guys more and more. And yeah, you guys are awesome. So it's the know, like, and trust, being able to build that, being able to get, consistently thinking about this idea of staying away from protocol thinking and really working things to your business and where you're at and your level. All of that is very helpful.
Yeah, man, that's great. I love it. I'm glad that you're feeling so comfortable and you're able to take some of the things that we used in our process to get you on board and bring it to your business. Because that's kind of the thing, and I'm trying to showcase, is that through this entire program, everything that we teach, we embody. And that's why I love the FIST formula idea, because no matter what it is, quite literally, it is an organic marketing system that you can plug and play pieces, and you can do paid advertising if you want. But if you learn the right organic, genuine nurturing strategies with great educational content, you can do amazing things just like you. I mean, how have some of the things that you've invested time into affected your business?
Yes, I mean, one of the things we talked about communication, public speaking, right, and having that ability to tell a story and connect with people. It's huge. When people connect with you, you have them, and then once you have them, I mean, you have the opportunity to find out what's going on with them. Can you help them? If you can, I mean, taking it from there and making it, all about them. And so I think the communication piece, really above all, is huge. It's huge. And so I just had, for example, like a education based close. I don't know if that's giving too much candy, but something that you guys teach is, being able to communicate, connect with somebody, and talk about how you're going to get them to their goals, based on some of the pieces they need to understand so that they can move forward with you and feel the confidence and trust in you to take them there. And so all of that is big. I mean, even little things, like right now I'm looking into the camera as opposed to into the screen. You guys pay attention to detail. I love that.
I love it, man. Yeah. No, I mean, and that's why I love the education-based sales process, is because ultimately, if you can truly tell us, like, don't overwhelm people with big jargon and words and orthokinematic interdependencies and all that stuff. It really comes down to the person in front of you. And if you can tell a story of the features and benefits, but also what it means to the individual in front of you before you set up your personal training plan, I think that's absolutely brilliant. So, Ahmed, with all of that, and thank you for sharing it all, I love it. for you, what was kind of like the eureka moment? Like, what is the like biggest thing that's different about what we've done with you that you've experienced from other style programs like this?
I think it's really the coaching aspect. Um, and again, this comes down to communication. It's it's communication, but it's also the. So here's one of the things I can tell that we're alike in terms of the fact that you're consistently trying to grow and make things better. And I've been with you through a couple of different mentorships at this point, and I've seen how you've tried to change it and mold it to really help us in the best way that you can. And I love that because it shows that you have this growth mindset, this growth oriented mindset, and being around people like you and the students in the mentorship is just huge because it helps continue to push you forward and push you forward. And being a solopreneur is tough, and there are things that you need to endure mentally that having a community like the one that we have together is so important. And so it's the community, it's the communication piece of it. Your openness to sharing what you're learning is huge as well. So all of those things together make that recipe for success, and what I think is going to continually move towards success. So
I
thank you.
love it. Man, I want to go on a slight tangent here, and it's just something that you said there, and it's something that it's just a general philosophy of mine. I don't know if you ever had this, but I remember when I was growing up, I had some really great mentors, and I've had Mario Mavrides on here, but even before him, I remember having some people that really pushed me. But I'd always ask questions about like just trying to learn more, and I remember that it was always like I was in this kind of like a gatekeeping scenario that like, hey, you're in this pen on the farm, and you can't know what's in the next pen until you finish in this pen. And so it was very much like I had some little bit of information, but I knew there was more, but I didn't know what the more was. So it didn't make sense to me to know like, well, how hard am I going to work in here? What am I going to do? What am I going to put my energy into? Because it was just you're staying in this box, and it's hard to know where you're going to go. And so for me, like one thing I try to embody in this, and I think you kind of alluded to it there, is I try to make sure that I have absolutely no secrets. I mean, honestly, the only thing I really don't talk about are particular financials, political stuff, and anything that's kind of like hot topic in the news, because everything else I believe should be discussed within the business. And if I'm learning a new strategy and something's not working, I'm happy to share that with you guys. In fact, I had a lot of people talk about what I used to do for Strata, was I did a lot of Strata quick tips, like those quick videos of like educational things.
Right.
And everyone's like, oh, I love that. I want to do that too. But the funny thing is I stopped doing that, even though they were high quality, because they weren't very fruitful as far as ROI goes. They just looked really cool. So anyway, I'm really happy to hear that, man. I mean, I appreciate you saying that a lot.
Yeah, it's like I said, there are no secrets like you're talking about, and you field all the questions. You make everybody comfortable to ask those questions, and you've created that culture around this. And so, great work, obviously.
Well, honestly, and I hate saying this, but it's all of us. I shouldn't say hate. I actually love. I love saying that because it's not just me. It's everyone. That's what I love about this whole thing is that the community of people that are involved is that they're all people who are like-minded. Everyone who invests into this program are growth-minded. They're willing to put some stakes on the line, invest some money, invest some time to make it happen. And so Joe Rogan said something once that, I mean, he's an interesting resource to listen to. He's good sometimes and crazy other times. But he talked about one time that if the barrier to entry into something is free or really, really easy, you're going to get some weird people that show up there because there's really no skin in the game. When people invest and they put the time in, it's not just about money, but going live, talking to people, doing stories, practicing talking to a camera, talking to strangers, doing resurrection calls, all those money now strategies, all of which really challenge you and really push you outside your comfort zone. So Ahmed, I mean, to you, and I know Brad Thorpe commented on this and a few others. I mean, you consistently are doing great things and you're pushing yourself outside that comfort zone, much like Daryl and Ari and Lewis and many of these other people that we've done interviews with. Actually, Lewis is coming up, so I shouldn't say that. But thank you for all the hard work because you keep crushing it, man. And I think when I talk about making it rain, being a nomad, but making it rain in this little nomadic community, that's you, man.
I appreciate that. And listen, I mean, I've had so many great people to help me with this exercise process. I mean, it started with my cousin. He really showed me the ropes in terms of training people. Greg Mack, I mean, that was incredible. Shout out to Lewis as well, because I consider him a friend, but also a mentor. And so he's awesome. And, it all culminating into where I'm at today with you guys. I mean, I feel like, we can we can go really far together. And, anything that I can do to help grow your business as well, I'm happy to, because, more, like, you guys deserve to have as many eyes as possible on you and have as many people in your world as possible, because you're really, really helping people, and you've really helped me, and I'm grateful.
Ahmed, you're too kind. I mean, honestly, we could pat each other on the back for a bit longer, I think. But I'd love to ask you, with all of this stuff, the Fitness Pro mentorship, your time with me and Glenn and Taylor, everything in this program, I mean, what have you learned? And what have you learned that's going to help you take you to the next level? Like, what is the big thing, and what's the next level for you? Where are you going from here?
What have I learned? So it's about one really big thing that's helped me with my main frustration coming into this, which was not having as much clients, was, and I think the way that you paraphrase it is standing on the shoulders of giants, right? So trying to make sure that I'm working with other professionals and having people in my community that, I can build relationships with, so that I can get more eyes on me, so that they can get eyes, and so that I can basically build these symbiotic relationships with people in my community, other practitioners, medical professionals, so that I can make sure that I can reach as many people as possible, and make sure that I'm talking to the people who, for example, have some skin in the game in terms of talking about their health or working on their health. And so that's really been humongous. Again, these are some of the tools that you've taught me within the FIST formula, and that in those finding strategies, and that's been essential. So continuing to employ those strategically has been humongous. And another thing that's helped is, really trying to get me to continue thinking more than anything, to avoid this protocol thinking. And, openly, I'm on my own journey in terms of being the best trainer that I can be. And, I need to constantly take more time to improve everything that I can do as a trainer. And you guys are going to help me with that. You've already helped me with that immensely. And so it's going to be really important for me to move forward in terms of continuing to work on the finding strategies and continuing to build myself up as a trainer that can help use physics to help make changes to people's bodies. And so that's really what it comes down to for me.
I love it. The principle-based approach to the mastery of both business and the biomechanics, the exercise world, bridging it together so you can have the career of your dreams, Ahmed. I love it. Hey, who is the Fitness Pro mentorship for?
The Fitness Pro mentorship who is it for? It's for anybody who wants to take this profession to a serious level. Somebody who wants to commit to being the best personal trainer they could be, and somebody who wants to commit to changing as many lives as possible. Because when you're in this mentorship, you're going to become the best professional version of yourself, and you're going to be able to help more people. And so that's what it comes down to. If you want to be the best professional version of yourself, and if you want to help more people, get more people into your world, make some more money, then please, do it. Talk to Brandon, talk to the crew over at Fitness Pro Mentors, and they will help you with that. So there's that.
I love it. And honestly, Ahmed, like cheesily, I called this, and I asked your permission first because it's kind of a funny name, but I said broke to confident. And I got to say, I know that when we first spoke, you were like, hey, I don't have a lot of clients. I'm struggling here. And then now you're getting busier. The message you sent me yesterday is you're getting more clients and you're feeling good about it. You got a lot more confidence, man. That confidence, it exudes through you when you're doing all of your live videos and putting yourself out there, man. Even right now, your eye contact, how confident you are, you're smiling, looking at the camera. It's a huge change in the few months you've been with us, Ahmed. So I just want to say thank you for all of your hard work.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to go on this journey with you. Honestly, you're somebody that I look up to. Your work ethic, your determination to take things to the next level is very similar to the type of person that I want to become. And so being around people like you, people like Glenn, people like Taylor, and all the students there, it's amazing. And I'm looking forward to continuing to work and continuing to push forward. So thank you.
Well, honestly, man, I don't know if you want to be like me because I tend not to stop, but I will say that that means a lot to me and everyone here. And I know Glenn's really enjoyed working with you. I know Taylor loves the questions and the exercise study group. So Ahmed, thank you so much. Before we put a pin in today, is there anything that you want to say to anybody about your journey so far?
Yeah. keep looking for solutions, keep driving forward, learn as much as possible, and find people who are going to help you along the way. That's it.
I love it. There's no shortage of information out there. Honestly, any problem that you have, someone else has already probably solved already. So you just got to put the time in and make it rain.
That's it, baby.
All right, Ahmed, thank you so much for your time. I much love and appreciate you very much. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Love you, man. Thank you, man. Have a good one.